Hello parents and carers, welcome to the Year 11 Aspire and Achieve video. The purpose of this short video is to provide you with some of the key information that you would have received had we been able to invite you into school in person. As you are well aware, our students have suffered some disruption over the summer term, and unfortunately we are still in a position where we do not know where the Year 11 GCSE exam series are going to be scheduled for next summer. However, we're not concerned about this. We have adjusted our schemes of learning according to the subject-specific exam board guidance, and we've organised our Year 11 assessment schedule to ensure that our students will be set up for success next summer. As parents, you can rest assured that your child is in safe and experienced hands. Having said that, we do need our Year 11s to play their part, and this year, more than ever, we need our students to demonstrate commitment, to work hard, and to do their home learning to the best of their ability and on time. As Mr. Pepper will explain shortly, if worst comes to the worst and we do lose short periods of teaching time in school, we are ready to guide our students through this. In the coming weeks, Mr. Pepper and Miss Hunter will also send an additional video to support you at home with your child's revision and strategies for performing well within examinations. Finally, I'd like to say a big thank you to all of you for your support with our September reopening. Our students have coped really well to their new surroundings, and we are looking forward to having a great year with our Year 11 students. All of us here at Rydale are really looking forward to working with them. Before I hand over to Mr. Pepper, I would just like to introduce Rydale School's senior leadership team for this academic year. Miss Hunter, Deputy Head Teacher, Mr. Pepper, Raising Achievement Director for the Rydale Federation, Mr. France, Assistant Head Teacher for Behaviour and Standards, Dr. Williams, Assistant Head Teacher for Inclusion and SENCO for the Rydale Federation, and Miss Wallace, Assistant Head Teacher for School Organisation and Personal Development.
Thank you, Miss Wilkinson. Hello Year 11 parents, thank you for watching this video presentation. I do hope you find it useful. Before I start, I would just like to say what a great joy it has been to welcome Year 11 back to school. They coped admirably throughout the lockdown, but I'm thrilled for them that they are getting to experience this critical year in their education and their lives. They have returned to school in great spirits, and I know everyone is keen to make this final year a real success. Clearly a lot has changed, and this will be a unique Year 11. Although there has been much change for our students, that is the same for all students in every school throughout the country. We are being very positive in our communication with all students in Year 11. We are well prepared for the year ahead, and they will achieve in line with their potential. I hope this video will help to clarify for you as a parent what the plans are for this academic year and exactly what is going to happen. In this presentation, I'm going to be speaking about three main areas: assessment, reporting, and teams. This term, there have been significant changes in assessment and reporting. We have introduced an extra progress tracking report. Each student will receive an additional orange sticker style assessment, and we have redesigned the schedule for mock examinations. I shall speak about each of these in more detail now. I shall begin with the progress tracking report. It has been some time since you have been given a progress tracking report. We have therefore decided to send a full report home at the end of this half term. This will include both subject tracking grades and attitude to learning grades. You will receive another progress tracking report in December at the end of the autumn term. Please remember that in addition to the attitude to learning grade and the subject tracking grade, there are two extra columns on each progress tracking report. These are at the far right hand side of the page. The first one, called National Expectation, highlighted here, is the grade predicted for your child by an algorithm which uses his or her SAT scores to create a most likely grade. The final column is the aspirational but realistic target set for your child by their classroom teacher. And this one is called Teacher Target. As you know, we care deeply about the Attitude to Learning grade. We know that students who demonstrate an excellent attitude to learning enjoy school much more than students who don't, and are much more likely to fulfil their potential. Therefore, we analyse the A2L grades closely and are particularly on the lookout for any student who shows a decline in attitude to learning. Any drop is a cause for concern, and that will be picked up by your child's subject teachers, form tutors and senior leaders within the school. We believe all our students have the potential to demonstrate outstanding attitude to learning regardless of their attainment. We want our students to try their best, challenge themselves and take pride in their work, and we will support them to do so. Each subject will produce an additional short assessment this half term. This will assess key areas of each subject covered during lockdown and at the start of this year. This additional assessment is designed to give you an accurate insight into how your child is doing in his or her first few weeks back at Rydale in Year 11, and also how we can help your child to succeed. Some of these assessments may be completed online in Teams, and you can access them via the Assignments tab. For more information on how to use Teams, please consult the parent guide on the school website. Okay, I'm going to speak now about the GCSEs themselves. I would like to give you a definitive update on what exactly will happen with the GCSE examinations this summer. Unfortunately, there is still much that is unclear. No one can predict the course of the virus and what level of lockdown this country will be in next May, June and July. It is possible that examinations will be cancelled again. However, the use of centre-assessed grades was extremely problematic, and so it's reasonable to assume the government would like to avoid a similar situation this academic year, and therefore ensure that examinations do take place. All schools have been advised that examinations will take place, and this is certainly the assumption under which we are currently operating. All the GCSE courses have been redesigned to account for the loss of learning during the school closures, which is a sensible step taken to help relieve student anxiety. In some subjects, this has meant whole units will not be assessed. In other subjects, certain skills which are seen as potentially dangerous to practice or assess have been removed from the specification. This means that this year, for instance, there will be no oral examinations in French or Spanish. These changes to the exam specifications have been reflected in the curriculum and have been communicated to students in their subject areas. Unfortunately, the government has not yet confirmed when the GCSEs are going to take place. A consultation document suggested that the GCSEs would be pushed back 2 or 3 weeks and would commence in June. However, this has not been confirmed yet, and no end date for the GCSEs has been given. As you can imagine, this significantly affects our planning of mock examinations and other assessments. It also makes it difficult for you and your child to make summer plans. I shall now briefly explain what would normally happen for a typical Year 11 cohort, as that will show what we are trying to achieve with our plan for this year's Year 11. Normally students sit Year 10 examinations, get used to the format and process of taking the examinations and learn about how to revise effectively. They will then sit the mock examinations over 2 intense packed weeks in December, the results of which are formally handed out in January, with students supported and given clear guidance on how to improve. We then hold a revision launch where students are given essential materials to aid their revision, a planner to help organise their time, and are taught how to revise effectively. Last year, we invited parents into school and did a parental session on the evening of the same day that students were handed out their revision materials. This whole process is highly effective. However, to stay true to its principles, it must be changed for this year. Therefore, we have swapped the intense block of mocks in December for 2 waves of exams. The total amount of exams is the same, but we have split them into 2 chunks. We wanted to ensure students had two bites of the cherry in the sense that they got to prepare for examinations and sit them in the hall twice. We wanted to ensure that they had that crucial period of self-reflection which would normally take place between the Year 10 exams and the mock exams. We also did not want to outface Year 11 by having 2 intense weeks of mock examinations waiting for them at the end of their first term back. As a result, we have decided to divide the examinations into 2 waves. The first wave will feature all subjects and will be very supportive in tone. Students may be given annotated exam scripts to remind them of how to approach certain questions or how to organise their time. They may be given structure strips to help support their answers. We are not trying to gain totally accurate assessment data via these interventions, but rather trying to build the confidence of the students as they approach the first major set of examinations that they have ever taken. This first wave has been moved forward and will take place on the 9th of November. All students have been informed of this in 2 separate assemblies and know what to expect. Further information will be distributed shortly on what is exactly in the exams and guidance for the students on how to prepare for them. A second wave of mock exams will take place in the spring term. The exact timings of this have not been firmly established as we are waiting to find out exactly when the GCSEs will take place and then plan accordingly. This second wave will be more formal. Tech subjects will not be featured and it will include more examinations in English, Maths and Science than the first wave. We plan to still formally launch revision for the students in the spring term, but we will schedule this to support students in their preparation for the second wave of mock examinations. We will also do a formal launch for parents too, and more details of this will be released closer to the time. Finally, Parents' Evening had been scheduled for the 21st of January. Unfortunately, this cannot now go ahead in the traditional manner. However, we are researching methods to ensure that we can plan a replacement event. This is likely to utilise IT and innovative software, and again, more details of this will be shared closer to the time of the event. In this final part of the presentation, I would like to talk to you about Microsoft Teams. You will see that we have continued to use Teams this academic year. We learnt so much about Teams during the lockdown, and although the learning curve was at times quite steep, it is clearly a very powerful and very useful tool. We have listened to parental feedback and spoken to many students about how we can use it this year to complement our lessons in the classroom. As a result, all classes have a team, and you will see that lots of work will be set via this platform this academic year. Teams will be incredibly useful for Year 11, and I'm sure it will provide a much greater resource base for revision than we have ever had before. We have produced so much new content and can share all resources used in lessons via Teams. This is a major step forward and is a great advantage that no other GCSE cohort has ever enjoyed at Rydell School. As a school, we must also be ready to shift rapidly to online learning in the event of a partial or full school closure. Teams is a method by which we will continue to educate your child. Your child may have to isolate or quarantine during this year. If that's the case, and your child is asymptomatic and able to work, we will ensure we provide high quality work for them. Please contact school in the usual way. We will then notify all your child's teachers, who will set work via the catch-up channel in your child's team. You can see the catch-up channel here on the left-hand side. Teams will enable your child's teacher to set work, mark it, and give feedback while your child stays at home. If you would like to learn more about Teams, please see the parent guide on the school website. Thank you for watching this video. I shall send another video shortly about revision and how to revise effectively. Please look out for that. We also have a range of other videos that have been made by members of the senior leadership team, which cover various aspects of school life, from mental health and well-being to communication with school, use of the planner, school uniform and behaviour policies. You can find these videos linked on this webpage. Thank you very much.